I must tell you that IPL comes back time and again to prove that it is not a tournament for the weak-hearted. And today also we saw a similar game, and Ravindra Jadeja hitting 2 sixes of the last 2 balls to take CSK home. So without further ado, I'll skip to the hits and misses directly. And Dominic, what would be your first hit of the day?
So again, Ruturaj Gaikwad was the second man of the match. I think he's the hit of the day according to me because what's been missing from CSK. They batted second 9 times this tournament and won only four. Fourth is the fourth victory for them batting while chasing a total. So that the main reason why they've not been able to chase totals is because one of the top order batsmen haven't stayed at least halfway through the end, maybe say the 15th or 16th over, and set a base for the team so that the rest of the team can chip in and finish off the chase. So that's been a big problem against DC when they were chasing 176 earlier this season. That was a problem against RCB when they were chasing 170. That was a big problem. No one making a 50, and not only 50, going on to make a 70 or 80 odd. Against Kings 11, both the openers did a very good job chasing. So that they weren't consistent. The top order batsmen weren't consistent. But what Ruturaj has done after scoring just 5 runs in the first 3 innings, I think what he has done is he's stuck to his strengths. So he's not straight away, the first match he came down the track and he got out. So again, Dhoni mentioned that in the post-match press conference, post-match interview, saying that, coming down the track. So he didn't know how to judge him early on in the tournament. So that was a problem. Now what he did was he stuck to his strengths and, he just paced his innings, and towards the end he hit the boundaries and the sixes, and 72 53. That was an amazing knock. So that's why he's my hit of the day. And if he had played maybe these kind of knocks, someone, not only Ruturaj, someone at the top, say the first match against Mumbai, Raidu played a wonderful inning, 71 or 40. Someone or the other, every single match if they had played, because they've chased 9 games. The first 7 games, every game they chased. So if someone had stayed, say till the 16th or 17th over, and a finisher like Jadeja, could do anything towards the end. So if someone had stayed not out at the top, or batted till the 18th over, I think that would have made a huge difference for Chennai. They would have still been fighting for the playoff spot. So Ruturaj has been doing that in the last 2 games, and Chennai will be hoping that he continues on with this form in the next season as well. So that's why he's my hit of the day. So Santa, according to you, who was the hit of the day?
Yeah, so talking about Ruturaj Gaikwad, he took off in a similar fashion as Nitish Rana, but Rana's knock went in vain. And to talk about my hit, I'll stick to KKR, which is a very weird option to go to. But then again, CSK has been knocked out of the tournament, and I might as well speak some good things about KKR at last. So Owen Morgan decided to go with Pat Cummins in the 18th over. And as you know, Dominic, it's customary that you go to your best bowler in the 19th. And that was a very interesting decision, seeing that, Nagarkoti was still there, and he leaked some 9 odd runs per over. So, Pat Cummins, he came in the 18th over, bowled a very good over, took the crucial wicket of Ruturaj Gaikwad, and gave away only 4 runs. So, what that did was, what Morgan's plan actually was, to create a cushion and then put the pressure in the last over when you have a lot of runs to get and very little to bat with. But it didn't work out due to Lockie Ferguson coming in the 19th over. I don't know whether it was pressure or not, whether it was the dew factor playing on his head. There's a lot of dew, you could see Morgan wiping the ball after each and every delivery. So that might have been a problem. You saw the no ball coming. He might have gone for a short ball and might have just hit the deck too hard and, gone up to the face of the batsman. So, that has to be my hit of the day. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Dominic, what would be your miss of the match?
So I think speaking about KKR's bowling, the last game against CSK, they held back Sunil Narine and Varun Chakravarti, and that worked. That was an amazing captaincy by Dinesh Karthik. He was the captain back then, but now again, it's similar strategy. Ian Morgan, deployed a similar strategy, and it almost worked out, as you said. Pat Cummins, bowled an extremely amazing over. I mean, that was out of the world, just 4 runs. 30 of the last 2, you would back KKR, considering Lockie Ferguson's form this season. He's been amazing. And he's been picking wickets, but today he's been the miss, because 54 runs in 4 overs when a team is chasing 173. I think that was too much for any team, because Ian Morgan trusted him to bowl the 19. He knew he had a plan. He had to bowl the best bowler at the 19. So he was saving Cummins, but at a point they were defending. The runs were gettable for CSK, and he thought he'd use up Sunil Narayan and Varun Chakravarti to mount the pressure. Then he had a choice to make Cummins or Lockie Ferguson for the 18. He went with Cummins for the 18, and it almost worked. 30 of 12, as I told you. So then Lockie came in. He's an experienced bowler. He should be bowling better, and maybe, as you said, the ball slipped out of his hands, and no ball. Then next ball, the free hit ball again, it was in the slot for Jadeja to hit it, and he was unlucky with the next four. But 20 runs conceded in the 19th over. Someone you knew that Kamlesh Nagakoti was going to bowl the last over. You can't give him 10 runs against an informed Jadeja, and Sam Curran has been in form as well. He's been hitting those sixes in the tournament. He can just 10 runs for a youngster like Kamlesh Nagakoti playing his first IPL. I think that was too much to ask from him, and he really bowled well. The first four balls were really well. But Jadeja, for the form he is in, and he has a point to prove as well. And so him in the form, this kind of form, you can't go against Jadeja and come on the right side. So that was poor from Lockie Ferguson. He's an experienced bowler. He's been taking wickets. He had the rhythm in the entire tournament. For him to miss out the spots, that was really bad. And I think that's why he's a miss of the day. So Santa, who do you think was your miss of the day?
Pick up from where you left. You said that Ravindra Jadeja has always been striking it well. In fact, he's a contender of the super striker of the season. But what has been the problem for both Kolkata Knight Riders and Chennai Super Kings has been that they have been not too super striking in the power play. Knight Riders have the lowest scoring rate in the power play. CSK second lowest, and both under 7, which just doesn't work in a stage like the Indian Premier League. So today also was no different story. You saw KKR get off to a good start, and then it was the same scenes back to where they were. It was very sedate, and then at the end of the power play, you just go to score 48 runs in a pitch where Delhi Capitals and Sunrisers Hyderabad have done well before. Similar track, so I don't see what the problem was there. This time, what can be taken as a positive for KKR is that they stayed unbeaten during the power play, and they just have to. Shubman Gill has to fire a lot in the power play in the coming days. Not in the coming days, in the coming match, if they have to make it to the playoffs.
There's another big match. Kings 11 Punjab versus Rajasthan Royals. Both teams with a chance to make it into the playoff after KKR slipped today. So, Santa, which battle within a battle are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to Jofra Archer going up against KL Rahul. Very interesting numbers there. KL Rahul is close to 600 runs and is nowhere near Shikhar Dhawan, who is second on the orange cap list, and is running away with the runs rather in this season of the IPL, and might as well end up at the top with the orange cap. Now, Jofra Archer, on the other hand, team not performing that well, but if you see the player points this season, Jofra Archer has been phenomenal. And what player points mean, that you have to be all round. You have to be there on the field. You have to take the catches, get the wickets, score runs, and then only you get to be on the top of the player points. And this season, Jofra Archer has bowled around, if I'm not wrong, 147 dots, and that is just mind-boggling. So and then again, if I'm talking about Jofra Archer and KL Rahul. Jofra Archer hasn't been at his best against KL Rahul, and we have seen that because KL Rahul has been striking it very well against him. He has a strike rate of 170 against Archer, and in the last 4 times that they have met, Archer hasn't gotten KL Rahul's woodwork. So it will be an interesting battle. But then again, Steve Smith would be looking forward to his leg spin options rather, instead of going to an Archer when they are bowling against a man like Rahul. Archer has been good in the power play, but then again tomorrow, if it's KL Rahul you are going against, then you have to use Archer somewhere else maybe. I don't know how that would work out, but it will be an interesting contest to watch out for. What would be your battle with the battle?
So, considering Rajasthan Royals, Ben Stokes scoring a century in the last game, finally coming back to form. Even he himself admitted that he loves batting at the top. In England, it wasn't possible for him because they have, so many openers there: Jason Roy, Alex Hale, Johnny Bairstow, Tom Banton now in T20 cricket, and so that was a problem. Now that Ben Stokes has found form with an unbeaten century, him and Sanju Samson coming good. Sanju Samson, after the initial few good scores, him again coming back and scoring a 50, that should be some positive news for Rajasthan Royals. So it'll be interesting to see them going against the Kings 11 Punjab bowling, which has been doing extremely well. The last game when the two teams played, the 449 runs came in Sharjah. So after coming out of Sharjah, Rajasthan Royals really haven't been batting well in the last 5 overs. They haven't been finishing innings well, except for one chase against Sunrisers Hyderabad, but Tewatia and Riyan Parag came together. They haven't been finishing off innings really well. So yesterday was a good change. So Josh Butler scored a half century against Chennai. And now, if everyone work together and they're consistent enough, Rajasthan really needs a big win to stay in contention, because I don't think 7 wins will be enough for them. They need a big win. So it'll be interesting to see them going against Shami and co. Whether they bat first or bat second, the last 5 overs are very crucial. Now Chris Jordan has come back to form. Say he was conceding at 11 or 12. Now his economy rate this season has come down to 9. So he's bowling really well. He's been doing well. He bowled well against SRH. He bowled well against KKR. So him bowling in the death and Shami bowling that 1 over in the last 5, I think that'll be very important, because Shami is close to Rabada in the purple cap race, and he's been consistent with taking wickets, and he might continue that. And I think Kings 11 leg spinners are very crucial as well. They're one of the best spin attacks in entire IPL. Murugan Ashwin and Ravi Bishnoi will be crucial as well. So it will be a tough task for Rajasthan. Keep this up and beat Kings 11, because Kings 11, even if they lose, they have a good chance of making the playoff. But Rajasthan, it's must win. So it'll be interesting to see their batsmen, especially the top order, going against the Kings 11 bowlers, and how, if one of them stays, as I told, how Ruturaj stayed for CSK till the end. One of them need to stay till the end and say the last 5 overs. After that will be very crucial. So that will be the battle I'm looking forward to.